speaking of a hurricane, because she's just all fired up all the time, is Julie Adams, Director of Winter Haven Parks and Recreation, and I think Leisure Services or some other fancy stuff. The title doesn't describe exactly what she does, because she has been a phenomenal addition to the city of Winter Haven. Folks in Winter, and I'm a resident, man, you got to count your blessings, because she has rocked it ever since she stepped on board. Welcome aboard, Julie.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and it's great to see you as always, always smiling, you know, and some great projects that she's brought to fruition. The latest being the major project is the Chain of Lakes Baseball Complex. That's the big one, but you also had one at what's the new park at the north end of town?
We have Lake Conine Nature Park, that we just opened, and one of the other pride and joys that we have is our Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center, which is under construction now, a complete renovation of that campus, and so we've got a lot going on, but we're really, really excited about what the future holds for Winter Haven and parks, recreation, and culture.
So with the new center and things like that, you guys are trying to adjust to a growing population. Tell us about those challenges.
Yeah, we're growing. What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anybody that's been in Polk County knows that we've got a huge influx of population, and people just want to be where we are, and that's a wonderful thing. And we are trying to prepare and get ready for that, not only now but into the future. The most recent number that we have is that 6 people a day move to Winter Haven, and so that's incredibly exciting. And for us to be able to plan into the future for that is quite a yeoman's task, but we're ready for the task. We're trying to get ready to provide parks, recreation, and culture to everybody, no matter where you are within Winter Haven.
Well, Julie, that's an interesting point that you make, that 6 people a day are coming to Winter Haven, but the rest of the state, you know, the big increase, particularly during and then after COVID, has flattened out, and the state of Florida actually is taking a dip now. It's going the other direction. Winter Haven is really just the opposite, and there's so much to see, there's so much to do, you know, quality of life and great place to work and all of that type of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, Winter Haven does have a lot to offer, and right at the forefront of that is parks, recreation, and culture. You know, and I want to jump back to the new baseball complex. Tore down an iconic stadium. The Boston Red Sox were there, the Cleveland Indians were there. We worked together, you know, to make sure that that produced economic impact for the city. But the Indians decided to move on. We teamed up, we recruited Russ Matt Baseball, the largest collegiate baseball tournament on the planet. 400 teams this last year. Right up to the day that Russ Matt arrived, Winter Haven was out there working, they got it ready, but that really had to have a very significant impact, not only on just your department, because I think every able-bodied person, and then some, I think you pulled some people from some nursing homes too, just to get this thing open. But how did that impact the city? You know, visually, and I'll have to say otherwise as well, Jack. I mean, you saw it.
Oh yeah. When you think about all the changes that you know, even the layout, and now the future that brings with giving access to the waterfront there that never had access before, and it's really going to be a statement park.
That was one of T. Michael's objectives. He wanted access to the water. You're spot on. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah. You know, we want to be able to provide that lake life experience to anyone, and so especially residents within Winter Haven. But we look back now at the race that was to get the park ready for Russ Matt, and it's just such a huge feat that we accomplished together. Our construction team was phenomenal. We were able to walk through and get everything delivered on time, but just the whole process of seeing that iconic stadium, the emotional attachment, just the way we were able to kind of give a proper send-off to the community for that, and then reintroduce this amenity that's going to be such a great addition to the city for years to come, for not only residents, but also to inspire tourism and economic impact and all of that we take so seriously here in the city of Winter Haven. So, and just, it's beautiful. It is I don't care what anybody says. You sit at the scorekeeper's box at Field 3 and look out over Lake Lulu, you can't beat it.
Yeah, that is, and I was speaking of that area, you know, when my oldest son was younger, I coached baseball at Sertoma Park. And what great memories there, you know, with the trees, and you've left those in place, and the program itself is phenomenal. And those types of things are what develop our kids. Either you pay to incarcerate these kids, or you pay to develop them. Well, that's not really a choice. It is a choice, but you make the choice. Winter Haven's made the choice. You've made the choice to say, we're going to make the investment in our citizens. And you've just done a marvelous job, you know. And I don't know, what has it been, 3-4 years now that you've been in place?
Yep.
Do you regret it, or are you happy about it?
Oh, I'm thrilled. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Looking back on what prepared me for this role, I'm just so thankful for everything that I had leading up to this, and coming back to serve my hometown is just something so special. People write books about that. I could write a book, but it's really neat to be able to see just my hometown, my family and my friends, and just people that I grew up with now working together to deliver services to the community. And I just have to take a second to thank the leadership for the city of Winter Haven, not only our city manager, of course, but our commission for having the foresight to be able to drive forward to the projects that we're delivering now to the community. It's just, you don't find that type of dedication to parks and recreation, and our community is something special for it.
So, knowing the city of Winter Haven and the fact that you guys don't take your foot off the gas, what are we looking at for projects going forward? Anything on the horizon that you're like, this is going to be a landmark project?
So our next really big challenge is to be able to provide recreation amenities and spaces for the southeast portion of our city that's growing so fast. We're looking at land acquisition, program development for a site, and to be able to provide in that area what we have centrally located for Winter Haven residents at this point. So, you know, going through the next calendar year with the reopening of the Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center, which will be a phenomenal, just a legacy project in and of itself.
That's the northeast.
Yes, off of MLK, what used to be called Avenue T.
Yep.
And so that was a complete campus redevelopment that's underway now, and just amazing to be able to see that come to fruition when we go out there for construction meetings and just seeing it come together. But that will be within the next calendar year, and then we'll look out towards development of those recreational amenities out in that southeast portion of our city, and just growth beyond to be able to serve all of those new community members that are coming in and the residents that have been here forever as well.
Well, we sort of jumped over it, but you mentioned it, is the Lake Conine project. Tell us about that, because that's a great passive park. Is there any competitive components to it, or is it just one of those parks you can just go and enjoy with your family, the peace, the quiet, and all of those types of, just explain what it's all about.
Lake Conine is a jewel. It has been over 20 years in development. I'm super excited to be part of the team to be able to deliver it, but that was a department effort. That was an effort that we worked on with the community to be able to come together and provide. That's actually a stormwater treatment, a wetland cell treatment area.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That prepares water to get it clean and back into Lake Conine. So that watershed all right there goes into that area and treats the water through the cells of that system. And there's also a recreational component with a playground. But really, when you go out there, there's connecting trails all throughout. And although you're just right outside of what is the hustle and bustle of the city, you feel like you're so much further removed. It's beautiful, it's natural, it's a working wetland system, and it's lakeside. So there's a boardwalk, there's a fishing pier. You can really get away from it all and just be right outside of town.
Super cool.
And we would be remiss if we did not give you a moment or two to talk about all the things that you have going on this summer for folks that want to sign their kids up.
Summertime is here. Yes, summertime is here. I can't believe it. I was just telling Jack before the show started that it just feels like when you were a kid, time drug on so slow. And now that I'm not a kid anymore, time flies, just like my mom said it would. But yes, so we've got, everything is kicking up. I mean, we've got our summer camp program, we've got our swim lessons, we've got our tennis lessons. I feel like the tennis courts are always hustling and bustling, which you're going to hear about later with Dave Saltman. But we've got all of our spaces activated, and we are able to serve more kids this summer in our summer camp program. We're always teaching kids and adults to swim. Our recreation centers are activated, and we're just ready to have a really productive, great, and safe summer.
And they would find more information at
our website, which is www.mywinterhaven.com, and availability for signups for our swim lessons. Our camps are full. Those fill within about 30 minutes of registration, but lesson availability, all of that would be on our website, and we'd love to serve you however we can.
We have about 45 seconds, but I want to ask you about something. You can't, when you're outside the boundaries of Polk County, you can't say Winter Haven without talking about water skiing. And water ski capital of the world, we celebrated the 100th anniversary 3 years ago. And the Cypress Garden ski team continues to produce and execute shows. Probably use a different word than execute. But anyway, produce shows and right there on Lake Silver. Has that continued to be a success in your eyes?
Absolutely. One of the gems that we have and a wonderful partnership that we have with the water ski team. But how cool to have right in the heart of a downtown, a lakeside, a newly developed park, and a partnership that's gone on with this team for years to be able to be such a neat, free show for the community to take part in. We love them.
Wow, that's cool stuff. Julie Adams, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. I misspoke earlier, but you know, the Winter Haven is a gem. You know, the land of, how many are lakes in the chain officially?
I should know the answer to that.
Depends on how you talk. It's like, oh, let's just say 17.
Yeah.
Great place. This is the lady that coordinates it all. So we're thankful for you being here. Thank you so much. What a fantastic, fantastic job.